Welcome to Arcane Answers. I'm your host, Lair, and with me, as always, are the irreplaceable Amanda and Sarah. How you ladies doing today?
We're doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Well, this week we got two voicemails, and if we keep getting a bunch, I might move them to the end of the show, but not today because they are coincidentally themed. And without further ado, here we go.
Hi, long time sister, first time caller. I am listening to your guys' podcast right now, and I got to the CIA episode, and you have said that you haven't got any feedback or callers, so I wanted to say hi. I think your guys' podcast is super cool, and if you're taking suggestions, it would be really cool to do a podcast about dreams, maybe. Or maybe like guardian angels. There's a specific phenomenon called, I think it's like other man syndrome or second man syndrome or something about guardian angels kind of coming to you in your time of need. That is a pretty cool phenomenon, so that's something you could check out maybe. But either way, it's a really cool podcast, and I love you guys. Okay, bye.
That's really cute.
I really enjoy the longtime sister, first time caller.
Yeah. I like that.
That is adorable.
Do you guys want to mention that this is a person that you guys know?
Heck yeah, that's our youngest sister.
You don't have to mention her by name if you don't want to, but
she was very excited that she's been mentioned in a couple of episodes.
Oh, you guys...
She's also, strangely enough, our most
quirkiest sister.
She's our quirkiest sister.
I like that you were looking for words there.
Well, because there's a lot of good words. Like, she's just adorable.
She's eclectic.
She's eclectic.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many adjectives I couldn't even decide upon one.
Well, I love that. I don't know about doing guardian angels. Like, I don't know enough about them that I mean, maybe that would be a good episode down the road. But
the
definitely,
second man thing.
Yeah, now I do know about that.
I've had a firsthand experience with that. Kenny and I did. So I would that would be an interesting one to do at some point.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm totally down with that. But the reason I'm playing two today is because, well, first let's listen to it. And then I will tell you, or you can draw your own conclusions as to why.
Hey, Arcane Answers crew. My name is Chelsea, and something happened to me recently that I thought you might be interested in. I think I would probably call it a synchronicity, which I know you haven't talked about on the show before, but it could be something cool to talk about in the future. Anyway, so for a bit of context, I had a friend that I met freshman year of high school, and we stayed pretty close friends all through school and for a few years afterwards. But as often happens, when you get older, we eventually drifted apart. And it's been almost 10 years since then. But just a few months ago, I had a dream about her. And in it, we reconnected because her TikTok account had shown up on my FYP, and I messaged her. I remember her telling me that she had gotten married and had had a kid. And also, I very vividly remembered reading her TikTok username. When I woke up, I thought it was strange that I remembered that detail, since it's usually so hard to read anything in a dream. So I decided to search for it on the app, and sure enough, it existed. It seemed like a private account that may not have actually been being used, though. So I just figured it was a strange, specific coincidence and left it at that. Not to mention, my friend had always been very sure that she didn't want kids. So I just decided it was a weird dream and forgot all about it. Until, just recently, I actually did meet her again. She just so happened to get a job at the same place I'm now working at. So we did get to reconnect, which has honestly been really nice. And I remembered the dream when she just recently mentioned that she's actually expecting her first child. 10 years is a really long time, so I guess it's not surprising that she changed her mind about having kids, but I was very surprised that only a few months earlier I'd had a dream about it. It's just like one hell of a coincidence, you know? Anyway, I've been loving the show, and I think you guys are doing great, and I can't wait for the next episode. Bye-bye.
Oh my gosh, I love that too.
Yeah, that was great.
So two
It's so
call-ins.
sweet, isn't it?
It is really sweet. And two call-ins about dreams on during the same week. I feel like that is definitely going to be our next episode.
Hey guys, thanks for picking our next episode. We appreciate you.
And we're really excited about it.
Oh, and those listening now, if you want to call in and leave us voicemails about dreams that you've had, please do so and we'll play them on the dream episode.
Yep, and that number is 207-591-4443. And you know what Chelsea's reminds me of is that it's also a little glitch in the matrixy.
I was thinking that the second time, yeah, us listening to it again just now, I totally thought about that. Her being able to read the name.
Oh yeah, totally. Like it seems like a lot of them like are like, hey, I died in my dream, but I'm still alive, but everything's happening like in my dream, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get too far ahead, I'm going to say that today we are talking about the glitch in the matrix. You know, the phrase "the glitch in the matrix" has permeated popular culture since 1999. You know, when the film The Matrix came out, where it depicts errors in a simulated reality. Now it's widely recognized term as inexplicable everyday occurrences that challenge our perceptions of reality, making us question existence itself pretty much. Reddit in particular is where we're going to be going, and it has a vibrant community of countless individuals sharing and discussing glitches in the matrix. Subreddit's like, and I'm going to read the whole thing out. It's r/glitch_in_the_matrix that has the most people in it, and glitch in the matrix /glitch in the matrix, all one word. And so people are getting on there and explaining, or telling their weird or paranormal stories that are now I guess explained by this idea that we are living in a matrix.
Yes, and it was actually super fun to do research on this one. At first, I was a little worried because so many of the glitch in the matrix, you think about like the Mandela effect and the which logo is correct, those sorts of things. And I was like, how are we going to do that without visuals? And then there ended up being so much more to it.
Well, they have special rules against like Mandela effect and Bader-Meinhof and other things, just trolling in general, but like they keep those things out of it, where it's just strange observed behaviors. And like you said, a lot of it was so visual that it made me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like, a square patch has appeared in the clouds, and I was like, that is weird.
Oh yeah, I saw a lot of that.
Yeah, well, an atmospheric phenomena. You got like the horseshoe clouds, the light pillars, the red sprites, like all of these things that are absolutely insane to see in reality, but they do have very clearly defined scientific reasons for them.
Absolutely. But I found two that I thought were interesting. One is like a sentence long, so it's not going to be overly long this time. But the one that I want to go to is Navan60 writes, me and my daughter witnessed something surreal and unexplainable today. She says, for a few weeks now, while out driving, we've observed pedestrians standing at traffic lights who reach in their pockets and look at their phones as they walk across the road when the light turns green. Nothing significant or strange about this. Just one of those mundane things you notice about your day. So today I was driving with my daughter and we stopped at a red light, and at a crossing, there was a man standing there. Nothing out of the ordinary, denim jacket, black cap. She really gets descriptive here. Black cap, glasses, around 6'2". But I thought I'd try to weird out my young daughter. She's 5, so I thought it was going to blow her damn mind. So I said, see that man? When the walking man goes green, he's going to start walking across. He'll reach into his pocket, pull out his phone, and start looking at it. Watch and see. So as he walks across, he reaches into his pocket and immediately takes his hand out, looks and points right at me with his mouth open, smiling, like a gotcha stance. And of course, my daughter found this absolutely hilarious, and I sat there completely mind blown. I must have sat there in silence looking at him cross the street for the next 10 seconds. That's a long time to walk across the street. That's editorial, not in the script. I drove and looked at him as I drove past, and he was smirking and laughing. I'd been playing it through my head all day. The windows were up, the radio was on, I wasn't shouting, my voice was not even remotely raised. He must have been about 10 to 15 feet away. Again, a really good judge of distance. I can't figure out how he could have heard me. It's literally impossible. How did he know I was trying to predict that he'd reach into his pocket for his phone? The only even remote possibility I can think of is that he had the same observation as me and thought he might be thinking the same thing and just went for it. But realistically, what are the chances?
That would be a weird synchronicity right there.
Yeah.
You know what window is open that you never think to check because I've done this multiple times? The moon roof or the sun roof.
Oh,
you look at all your other windows and you're like, how did that person hear me as I'm, yelling profanity in my car?
Sure.
Staring at me like a psycho.
And then I look up and I'm like, oh, sorry.
So the next one, this kind of stuff has happened to me all the time. Like the last one too, kind of, I've had similar situations. Like I tell this story too often, and I may have even told it on the podcast, but like when the movie The Blair Witch came out, have I told this story?
Yeah, I think you have.
Okay. Yeah, but like I mean, I just was like, it's fake, and like apropos of nothing. Like I had nothing. So I feel like those are glitches in the Matrix for sure.
Yeah.
And then the next story is one sentence long, like I said, but I really do like the reply to it. So it's from Professor Tao, and he writes, "A dime from 1902 fell from the sky and hit me on the head while I was taking out the trash." That's it. He has a picture of the dime. And the response was, "Do you feed crows? That sort of thing happens to me all the time." It was a $50 coin from my crows.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I was going to say, what are the odds that a bird just actually pooped on him and he saw that at the same time?
I think you'd tell the difference between that and a dime hitting you in the head.
I don't know. I like the crow theory better, though.
I like the crow theory, too. I know that that's a thing that they do, because you can set up crow boxes. I'm not sure the legality of that. I can't imagine they're not, but sometimes they get stuff with, like, foldable bills, like 20s or something. And you can set these things up. Look them up if you don't know what I'm talking about. They're really cool.
Not that I've looked into it much at all, but definitely check your state if you're wanting to do that, because in most states it's illegal to feed crows for the purpose of them bringing you treasure.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know about
Follow
man.
the laws.
I'm just saying, I cannot confirm nor deny whether I've looked into this.
Our laws here are like, you can shoot as many crows as you want. So, yeah, I don't do that.
I appreciate that.
I'm
When
a
we
big
were
fan of
in-
crows.
I love crows.
When we were in, I can't remember if it was Tokyo or Osaka, but there were signs everywhere that were like, beware of crows in Japanese. And I'm just like,
Wasn't
what's
it
going on?
like a pickpocket issue?
I don't know. I
You
mean,
never figured it out.
yeah, no, there was just beware of crows. Like,
Just ominous
everywhere.
signs strewn about.
like, yeah, like these laminated signs for just blocks and blocks.
I'm going to start just carrying some around and just putting them up around
It's like,
town.
beware of why?
Yeah.
What is going on with the crows here? I don't speak Japanese well enough to, like, I can barely order food. I can't ask about the crows. It is too much.
I agree.
Are they dangerous? What's going on? Are they going to take my passport? Am I stuck here forever?
Oh, no.
That's okay. I liked it there a lot.
Just a little old lady who has a collection of passports because she's been feeding the crows.
She's
Oh,
an
no.
international spy, known as the Bird Woman. Anyway, that's it from me for this section. I have a little bit to finish up at the end, but I'm going to turn it over to you. What are you bringing to the table today?
So I looked up some of the theories that people have come up with for why these glitches in the Matrix happen. And obviously the most common one is the simulation theory, where we're actually just avatars or sim characters of aliens, or higher level reality was another term that was used. So we're not actually in control of our body. And when the glitch happens, it's actually a coding issue.
It's very Calvinistic.
Right. So this would account for, seeing two people, say, on a subway wearing the same thing, looking like they could be twins at opposite ends, but they're both sleeping in the same way.
Well, if that's true, then how do you determine who's an NPC from who's a main character? Because, like, I know that I exist when I'm not here, right? And you guys exist when I'm not here.
Mm-hmm.
But so do they. I mean, think about like doppelgangers, for instance.
Okay.
Like the theory of doppelgangers is that one is dark, like there's the dark doppelganger, and somehow it's always the other one. How do you know you're not the dark doppelganger?
It's
Oh, I
absolutely.
definitely am the dark doppelganger.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. But that doesn't mean the light one doesn't exist. You can both equally exist at the same time.
there's a really good Sabrina the Teenage Witch episode or like storyline about that. Just FYI.
Okay.
What it made me think of all of a sudden.
Oh, okay.
You were saying.
Or the photos that you've seen or the videos you've seen of birds flying or just hovering in midair without any wind or, not like they're normal, just floating on the wind. So the theory on that is just a glitch in the game that we're living in.
Or like the disappearing, reappearing, or half-rendered objects. Like that seems to be a really common theme in people pictures that people take. But again, I don't trust photography anymore because AI has ruined everything.
Our grandpa always had a saying, speaking of not believing what you see.
Oh, yeah.
He always said, don't believe anything you hear and only half of what you see.
No, that is phenomenal. Like a lot of the stories I was reading too are about like disappearing, reappearing objects. I was like, I don't really want to do those because odds are, like one of them was this lady was like washing eggs. She had a dozen. Then she went away. There was one in a towel. She came back. It wasn't in the towel. She walked away again. She came back and it was in the towel. Not much of a story, really, but it's her glitch in the Matrix, right? But odds are it's probably in the towel. You just missed it or something.
So I have a really good one for in that theme of just like disappearing, reappearing, only this is just appearing tangible objects. So this is from user Capricorn Experience.
That's a name.
It is. It's a choice. And this was posted 7 days ago. So pasta from another timeline. I just witnessed a glitch. Hey guys, long-time lurker of this subreddit, but I've never had anything to post here. Until now. Work's been a bit rough lately due to some hour shortages the last month. Things are picking back up, thankfully. Because of that, things have been a bit tight, and currently I'm low on a lot of things, including groceries, until I get paid in a couple of weeks. So today, I went to make something to eat. I knew I had ground beef in the fridge, so I figured I'd throw together something. Maybe taco pasta or whatever. I make my own taco seasoning, got the beef going in the pan, set a pot on the stove, reached into the cupboard for some pasta, and pulled out something I've never seen in my life. A pack of Burkel macaroni labeled completely in German with zero English anywhere on it. I live in Canada. I've never bought this. I've never even seen this brand. It's not sold at any store I have ever been to. So there I am, just standing there, holding this foreign, obscure egg noodle like it's some kind of cursed object dropped from another dimension. I live alone. Nobody's been in my house for about a month, and the last time somebody was there, it was for one reason, and it definitely wasn't to sneak German pantry goods into my cupboard. I ordered all my groceries online through a delivery service because I hate grocery shopping. So I went into the app to check. No record of it, not on any past order. I even searched the entire store's inventory. Burkel does not exist on the platform. I've never even been to Germany. And to make it weirder, a few months ago, I rearranged my kitchen. I moved all the pasta into a new cupboard. This pack wasn't even there then. So I just searched online, and you can't even buy it in Canada. Only a few websites come up, and they're all German websites I've never heard of. This shouldn't be there. There's no logical explanation that fits, so I've fallen back to magic. I've had some experiences with, quote-unquote, the universe, and a bit of manifestation weirdness. Maybe I manifested it without realizing. Maybe an alternate dimension version of me visited Germany and thought, you know what I need? A noodly souvenir. And that timeline crossed over this one. Or maybe two timelines crossed. One where German is the default language here because, I don't know, Germany won. I don't know, man.
Jeez.
Or maybe there's a German god of pasta who looked down and said, he must eat today. Whatever the case, I'm shaken. I don't have an explanation. I just cooked the glitch, and it tasted all right. But since I couldn't read the label, I'm a bit concerned about whether there were terms for use of this magic pasta. Open to theories because this has wrecked my brain.
He writes really well.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And I think my favorite part was like, you ate it? I would be scared to eat it. And he says, I mentioned in my post, but I'm low on a lot of things until I get paid again. So if some alternate dimensional pasta presents itself to me, I'm going to eat it. It'll probably be fine. Everything is fine.
That guy's got an adventurer's soul.
I would also eat random
same.
pasta that I found.
Yeah, I think probably the most disturbing thing, though, was later on in the comments talking about using Chipotle on egg noodles.
Stop
Chipotle
it.
ranch dressing. I was like,
Absolutely not.
listen, Americans get a real bad rap for their poverty meals, but I've never put Chipotle ranch on noodles, so there's that.
Nope.
I've put butter on noodles, and that's pretty good.
Butter and garlic.
Yeah, Parmesan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's one of those comfort meals.
it is a comfort meal.
That
That's
or like stewed
I'm-
tomatoes
Oh, yeah.
The noodles with the stewed tomatoes.
and cheese.
Uh-huh.
So good.
Uh-huh. That was a staple in our house growing up.
Some sort of goulash mix.
It was like vegetarian. We didn't have any meat, and also it was before payday.
Uh-huh.
Pasta.
And our mom could feed 100 people with it. So it was just like one of those giant cans of stewed tomatoes, fettuccine noodles.
It had to be fettuccine.
It had to be fettuccine.
Butter.
She
Oh,
would
long
not-
noodles.
Yes, she would not make it if we did not have fettuccine. You couldn't use spaghetti.
Yeah.
You couldn't use anything but fettuccine noodles.
Nope.
And then the stewed tomatoes in it as like the sauce.
Yep, and then Parmesan. And not even the good Parmesan. Like, it has to
No.
be the cheap,
The cheap
store
shaker.
brand shaker,
Mhm.
because that was what we had.
Did she have a name for this dish?
Just noodles.
Just
Have noodles with tomatoes, kids.
more of a description then.
Yeah.
It's actually a fond memory because I really, really liked it when she made that.
Here's the deal. I hate tomatoes.
You like
So,
those?
I love those, but I will pick the big chunks of tomatoes out.
That's fair.
Yeah. In our
I'm gonna
house
get
we
stewed
make
tomatoes
what's
next time I go to the store. Sorry.
no, that's all right. In our house we make a thing called the green pasta, and it's just chicken, rigatoni, and penne, I think. And pesto that my wife makes out of the garden. And it's just
Ooh.
just those things mixed together, and the kids love it.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, it does. What kind of... Never mind. We can talk later.
Yeah. I know this is turning into a cooking show. A glitch in the kitchen. So,
But yeah, I really
Coming soon.
I just enjoyed the idea that not only was it like a glitch, but like it was a tangible manifestation of something that didn't go away.
no, it's a fantastic story, and I can believe that happened. Like, I can believe that because like that kind of stuff happens all of the time.
I had read a Reddit story, and of course I don't have it with me, but some girl, she had gone grocery shopping and she bought onions, and she dropped one of the onions off the off the counter, went to go pick it up, and it was nowhere to be found. Yeah. She checked under couches, she checked in, rooms that had closed doors. She said even when she moved out of her house, the onion was never found. So, parallel her got a free onion.
I guess so. I wonder if they ate it.
Well, if they were like that gentleman who found German pasta, she probably did.
Yeah, I mean, that's not quite the Mandela effect, but like there's rules in the subreddits I was reading from, and one of them was the no Mandela effect. But I love the Mandela effect. The idea that you remember something differently, like it's obviously false memory, right?
Is it? Or are we all just being gaslit into thinking these things never happened?
Well, it is important to distinguish like psychological phenomenon like deja vu, which we know is a psychological phenomenon,
Right.
and other stories of cognitive processes that like the Mandela effect could just be misremembering historical facts,
Mm-hmm.
which, unless there's a direct eyewitness to it, like, it doesn't really hold up.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, in order for it to be the Mandela effect, it has to be widespread. So it can't
Mhm.
just be one person. It's like a mass misremembering of something.
That's true, like the Berenstain Bears.
Yes, that the cornucopia from the Fruit of the Loom is
I
a really
remember it
famous one.
having a cornucopia.
Yeah, everybody does, but they swear that's not the case.
The biggest thing for me was C-3PO's silver leg.
Yeah,
Silver leg.
I remember C-3PO being all gold as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so do I.
And I remember having the figure in the like the 12-inch figure or 14 when I was little, like really little, like this is late 70s, early 80s, and it was all gold. Like in
Yeah.
my memory, it was all gold, and then like my parents keep everything, so I went back to find it, and the leg had broken off.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah, that's my glitch in the Matrix. Maybe I should write that.
Well, I just feel like I've gotten older, I realized how much more susceptible I am to memory suggestion. Yeah, it's really interesting. Everybody wants to think they're impervious to, like, I can trust my memory. I would never be. But if you tell me something more than twice, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe. Or like if you're describing something from long ago, like you could easily implant false memories in me. Because I'm just like, okay, that's fine. My imagination just runs with it. It becomes a whole ass thing in my head. It's crazy.
I'm easily gaslit.
Easily gaslit.
I bought a pin for myself that says you're not immune to propaganda. Just because, like, I get that cognitive bias, I get that like echo chamber, and like I'm like, oh wait, am I being just propagandized too? I have to really, I'm also a little paranoid, so I'm like, all right, remember, it's all propaganda layer.
I would be interested to see if you could find a picture of you with that.
Oh, now that's a good question.
But anyway, so I had one other one from Reddit that ties in with the whole parallel universe thing, and this one is a little bit deeper and a little bit more, like, I think, thought-provoking. But this is from 5 years ago, and this is Anna Gwinnell. So every time we die in one universe, we enter a new one. I heard this theory from my physics teacher. He said that there's a theory that every time we die in one of our parallel universes, we enter a new one where we are alive. I thought nothing of it until it started explaining things such as the glitches people experience and post on this community. Maybe it was just us entering a new universe because we died in the last one. Maybe that is where all the Mandela effects come from. Does this then mean that we are all destined to live forever, eventually in a universe where we can't die because scientific advances let us live forever? Or do we all end up in a final universe all alone?
Wow. That got dark towards the end.
I personally really like that because when things get really bad politically or in the world, Amanda and I like to joke that that we're actually just living on a petri dish and we were some alien kid's science fair project that they forgot under their bed. And when their mom made them clean their room, they pulled it out and was like, oh no.
Tossed it in the garbage. We're like a forgotten, discarded science experiment.
Oh, and that's why the universe is expanding. If we went to landfill and it's just growing out of the petri dish.
And it explains entropy.
Entropy for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the interesting idea. And also kind of with that theory, you could patch the holes of like things being unfair because some people only get, 6 months of life and some people get 120. In that theory, everybody gets the same amount of time, just not necessarily on the same timeline.
Yeah, that's true. And it just goes to show you how much we don't understand about our own minds in the universe.
Yeah. I'm just over here trying to jump timelines. I'm done with this one. I'm ready for a new one.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Don't go with that lady's theory.
Not that kind of jumping. Good Lord.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'm not that committed to figuring out whether that theory's correct.
Well,
I found a portal gun. That's a revolver.
Portal gun?
I think there is this inherent idea that we all have that we're sharing the same reality.
Mm-hmm.
And even looking at the vast spectrum of just run-of-the-mill mental illness that people have, like
Sure.
not everyone is working with the same tools. And even,
That's a solid point.
yeah, I mean, we're not all experiencing the same reality. And so it's just interesting to think of that more in terms of like parallel universes. Like we're all these little encapsulated universes unto ourselves, and we're just
Yeah.
kind of brushing against each other.
No, it's totally true. And like a couple of things that you'd said there made me think of one, two of my sons are colorblind.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're experiencing a totally different world, but we keep telling them what they're perceiving is blue, even though that's a bad example of the red green. But anyway, but you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, that's
Colorblind,
blue.
too.
And they're like, well, it looks green, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is interesting. And then the other thing, I believe in the collective conscious, right?
Uh-huh.
And I also believe in like parallel thinking, right? So
Okay.
like the steam engine was invented in two locations at the same time, color TV, things like that.
Mhm.
Like these things happen, and or like calculus or the printing machine. Those things were invented in a different part of the world that had no contact with another part of the world that reinvented it.
Yeah.
So like that's amazing to me. And so I think there's something deeper there that does connect us all, and we just are unaware of it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we're connected in dreams.
We could be.
Yeah. But I think that's all the time we have for this week. And we've just seen how far the rabbit hole goes. So listen next time as we lucidly enter your dreamscape and discuss dreams.
Doodly
Doodly
doodly.
Never gets old.
It doesn't.